Hey, what's up guys? My name's Dakota with Route 4 and welcome back to CSPN. This is our 11th installment and I apologize for such a long downtime in between episodes. We had some technical difficulties with the computer, but we're back up and running and we're rocking. Anyways, today we're going to talk about the strike loader backpack and whether or not that's considered mag-fed, and if it is it Modern Combat Sports appropriate and is it MilSim? We're also going to dive into the Helix mag some more since it's coming out this upcoming month, and we brought Omar in today to shed some light on it. Let's go ahead and dive into this episode. Today I have Omar with me and he's going to talk about the Helix mag. So Omar, what do you have to tell us today?
Not too much. Anyway. Alright, so here we are. It's pretty much gearing towards the end of May. I want to talk to you about the Helix. It's coming out pretty soon, so I want to show you how it works, how to take it apart, some of the features that it has, and basically what you should expect from it when you see it. So this is the Helix. It's a continuous round magazine. It's our next step in our DMag series. It uses a DMag well for all existing platforms out there that use DMag well, of course. Again, so it's a continuous round magazine. It uses ship projectiles. It has a Helix, the helical drive in it, meaning by that it actually rotates the rounds. We've been using that for over a decade with our .43 caliber projectiles, and now we're implementing it onto this. So obviously the industry has kind of taken that as a standard over the past couple years. So again, it makes for a good system. Alright, some of the features about the Helix is that it's a toolless design, so you do not require any screwdrivers, Allen keys, or anything to remove it or disassemble it. And they will come in this two-tone configuration, so black outer shell, and your internal components are clear. The whole point of that is you can kind of see what's going on in there, see what your spring is doing. You can also tell if it's fully loaded by doing that. And again, it's just kind of like a diagnostic purpose behind it. And also for you guys who are crazy about modding, which I'm sure we know about a few of you, you're able to cut out these windows here and you can actually see rounds inside there, similar to other magazines and firearms that have a viewing window on there, so something to consider there. Alright, so to disassemble this, you depress these two buttons in the center. It's a locking device. You depress them at the same time you start sliding out your system here. Before I completely disassemble it, I want to show you how it works. It has a lock here. Let's get to the point where you have a locking mechanism right there. These will be available in 10 packs for sure. We're looking at 5 packs and even individuals in some cases. But the whole point is having them just like the DMags. You have enough of them. We can sell them at a low enough cost where you're able to treat them like you did the DMags and pass them around to a buddy in need or whatever the case may be. Alright, so to lock the follower down, you will have something like this contraption right here, which is basically a kind of like a loading rod as seen in other magazines, even the DMags. They're useful if you use something to lock down the followers, that way you don't have anything compressing down the paintballs. Now, it's not decided yet whether we're going to use a single spring drive for both or use 2 different spring sets, meaning between shape projectiles and standard paintballs. Okay, so as you can see here, what I'm doing, I'm compressing the spring, okay, and there we go. So I'm doing this to lock the follower here. It takes, there we go, you can actually see the rounds. So let me pull this out a little bit more. Okay, so what I'm doing is locking it back. Alright, so that, without the shell in there, it's kind of like, I just want to show you how it works. So there we go. So the follower is locked in place. Now you're able to load your paintballs in there without them being compressed the whole time. Now with shape projectiles that doesn't matter, but it does matter with paintballs, so there you go. Now, again, with shape projectiles you're able to load an extra round by basically depressing this beyond the point of that right there. You have a little follower extension that allows you to load an extra shaped projectile there if you needed to, but that's a little modification that you would need to perform. Okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and disassemble this so you see how it works. There's a few components in there, but again, generally speaking, they're all pretty simple to work with. So, alright, pull that out. Keep your comments to that apparatus to a minimum. We all know what it kind of looks like, but anyway, you know, like, alright, so as you're pulling this out, remember those two buttons? They're under spring pressure, so you want to make sure that you hold on to them or else they're going to come flying out. Now you have a spring holding in between these two. Now this feature as well also is the method of which you'll be able to use a mag coupler. So you basically go through the magazine in this area and you can couple pretty much as many mags together as you want. If you want to be obnoxious and have like 6 of them in a stack like that, you can. Wouldn't recommend it per se, but you're able to do that. Alright, so took that out. Again, that spring is going to be under slight spring pressure at this point. So just, there we go. Just make sure you're mindful of that. You have your 2 halves, your spring. Now spring has a follower installed. Okay, so it's right there. And here are your components. So you have your roll down paddle, your follower lock, basically activation piece, your follower lock ramp, your follower lock spring, and the ball bearing. Okay? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera pretty well, but I'll show you how this goes. You put this inside. Okay? There's a little spring pocket for that spring right there. Put it in there. Next, we're going to put the activation bar. Basically, activation bar goes right below the demag paddle with the block that engages your magazine well. That's the tooth that engages the paddle and pushes it down, so that goes right behind it. Next point, we'll take our follower lock. There's a little spot for it. Dakota will put this in a better background, a close-up video here in the near future. Don't make me a liar.
I won't.
Right. And if he does, you know where to find him.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Alright, so put these together right here. Alright, so that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Put this inside here because it'll act like kind of like a locking mechanism. Now notice I haven't put in my spring yet. And this is just to make your life easier. You put it through. Alright, so that's pretty much it right there. You have all your components inside the magazine, your follower lock. At this point, get your buttons. The buttons are directional, so kind of the narrow end goes forward. So forward, you know, the curve. And there are mirrored parts, so you're going to do that on both sides. Again, narrow part goes forward. Now we're going in this direction. Alright. There we go. So you get them into the shell. There we go. That's all it takes. We're now locked, ready. The magazine's ready to go again. And we'll get our contraption once again. These are tactical A-beads known here. So now I'm sure some of you will wrap these around your molly or something else. We'll try to get a more of a tactical color for these things right here. So, but right now, that's kind of what we're holding on for. This right here. Okay. So there you go. Thank you. Dakota, any questions?
At this point, we can load all 20 rounds into it while it's the locked back.
Yeah. So that's the whole point. So we don't have any rounds here, but so this is when you load your rounds. That'll also keep the follower locked in place. Again, so some things you don't want to do. You don't want to release the follower when it's locked back on its own without anything, because the follower comes out of the magazine, and now you have to basically take it apart and put it back together.
So while this is on your vest, you could just have the follower locked back and then deactivate the follower when you're about to put it in your gun, just so.
Yeah. So you lock the follower back just to prevent pressure from building on the paint rounds themselves. Again, ship projectiles, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, it only matters with paintballs. You have them in your mag pouch with the rounds in there, and it deactivates when it goes into your mag well. Sorry. Anyway, so it's been a while. We'll just wrap 4 minutes for a little bit. So, all right. Anyway, again, that's the Helix.
And these will be around like $14 you're shooting for, something around there. Right?
That's the idea. We're trying to keep this at a pretty low price point to be pretty much double the mag, double the DMag, pretty much. So, so you get more rounds, a pretty reliable system for a very good cost. Okay, so anyway, now this was an option here. So we had a black interior. This is actually the pre-production one. This is something that we had a little bit earlier on. But we're going to go ahead and do it this way for production. That way you're able to see what's going on in there and see any sort of malfunctions that you may be having or anything else.
Personally, I prefer it like that too. I like that you can see when the springs lock back.
Cool. All right, thanks guys.
Omar with the Helix mag, everybody. So as a lot of you know, Valken not too long ago released the Strike Loader backpack.
A game-changing killer application will reshuffle the deck, allowing a player to cut through the opposing lines like a hot knife through butter. This killer application is Strike Loader.
And the inventor of Strike Loader. Strike Loader is a 1200 round capacity backpack type loader technology that completely eliminates the need to reload during a game.
We've been receiving a lot of questions about it. Is it Modern Combat Sports appropriate? Is it Milsim? And will it be allowed on Operation End War 6? Now I'm going to have to go ahead and say a polite no to all of the above. The reason that it is not Modern Combat Sports appropriate is the fact that it's kind of bringing back the speedballer mentality where you can now reload your paint with pods simply on your back. And I feel like the moment that you bring pods back to your game, it's kind of like a devolution in Modern Combat Sports, just because you can now have this pray and spray mentality that we were trying so hard to get away from, and we've always been trying to keep it to sparing your rounds like an actual soldier would. So I feel like if you want to have that support person in your squad that has a lot of rounds at their disposal, I think the Hydra box mag is about as far as you should go. Just because that's actually realistic. You have a box mag, like the M249 SAW, like the US soldiers use. There is no real gun that has a backpack for ammo on their back that is used in everyday modern warfare. So yeah, based upon that, it's not Milsim either, because there is no gun out there, like I said, that uses a backpack of ammo. And seriously, who needs 1200 rounds at their disposal? Alright, so thanks for watching this episode of CSPN. Next time on CSPN, we're gonna take a look at the custom gun builder that we've been working on. And please be sure to leave in the comments what you think about the Valken Strike Loader backpack. And please be sure to like and subscribe. And thank you for watching this episode of CSPN. See you next time.